The greatest common factor, the GCF of two or more numbers, is the largest factor that given numbers have in common. We'll be using GCF a lot with factoring polynomials. So students must master this concept first. So let's start by looking at how we find the GCF, just by using simple division. So to find a GCF of 12 and 18, we previously discussed how a student can use simple division to find all the factors of a number. So we're going to do that with 12 and 18. And again, this demonstration is mostly for those who feel a bit challenged when it comes to mental division and multiplication. All right, so we're going to list in our table on the left side 1 through 11. And then we'll go ahead and list 1 through 11 on our other table for 18. And use your calculator to divide 12 by each of these numbers. 12 divided by 1 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. 12 divided by 3 is 4. 12 divided by 4 is 3. And again, remember, once you start to repeat any factors that you already have, that's when you stop. And we're going to use all of the factors above that line where we stopped as the factors for 12. So our factors for 12 are 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. Now let's do the division for 18. 18 divided by 1 is 18. 18 divided by 2 is 9. 18 divided by 3 is 6. 18 divided by 4, that does not divide evenly, so 4 is not a factor. 18 divided by 5 also does not work because 5 is not a factor. Now, we know that 5 is not a factor initially because 18 doesn't end in a 5 or 0. But if you need to type it in just to see the proof, then 18 divided by 5, of course, will not give you a whole number. It'll give you a fraction or a decimal. And then we have 18 divided by 6, which is 3, and we've started to repeat our factors again. So that's when we stop and we include all of the factors above that line. So that's 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. So we can list all the factors of 18 as 1, 2, 3, 6, 9, and 18. So the GCF, the greatest common factor for 12 and 18, is 6. The GCF is 6. That's the largest factor that both numbers have in common. So next, let's talk about how you can use the Casio FX300 ES Plus calculator or a Casio FX115 calculator to find the greatest common factor of two numbers. So here's how it works. On your calculator, you're going to first press the alpha button here, and then go down and press the multiplication button. And as you can see, right above that multiplication button, you see the letters GCD. That stands for greatest common denominator. So you're going to press the alpha button and then the multiplication button. That is opening up the GCD function. Once you press those two buttons, here's what you'll see in your calculator window. You'll see GCD, and you'll see the open parentheses. Next, in order to find the greatest common factor for 12 and 18, you're going to type the number 12 in, into your calculator. So you'll type 12. Then you're going to need to press the comma button, but let me explain how you access the comma function. You'll have to then press the Shift key and then press the close parentheses button. And as you can see, right above the close parentheses button, highlighted in yellow, is a comma. Right? So Shift and then the open parentheses for the comma. And in your calculator window, you'll see the comma appear. And the next thing you'll type in is the number 18. And then simply press the equal button after that. Once you press the equal button, you will get the same answer for 6 as the GCF for 12 and 18. So again, let's talk about those steps again in your calculator. To find the GCF for 12 and 18 using the Casio FX300ES, you'll press the alpha button. You'll press the multiplication button. You'll type in the number 12. You'll press the Shift key. Then you'll press the open parentheses. And then you'll enter the number 8 and then press the equal button. And you'll see the answer is 6. All right, so let's practice using your calculator to find the GCF for the next example. And we'll also look at the long way of doing it. So find the GCF of 15 and 75. So on our calculators, we want to first press the alpha button, then the multiplication button. This time you're going to enter the number 15 . Once you've entered 15, now it's time to create your comma. So you're going to press the Shift key and then the open parentheses. Once you do that, you'll see the comma in your screen after the number 15, and then you type in the number 75 and then press the equal button. And you'll find in your calculator screen it's going to give you the number 15. So that means that 15 is the greatest common factor of 15 and 75. 15 is the GCF. So now we're going to look at the long way of finding the GCF. We're going to create our tables for both numbers and look at all the factors of both numbers so that we can see how 15 is the GCF. So I've completed the simple division for 15, and we have factors 1, 3, 5, and 15. Again, if 2 does not divide into a number evenly, none of the other even numbers will, so those were canceled out. All of those numbers were tried, and then we simply were left with those 4 factors. With 75, when we get to 75 divided by 5 is 15, then that tells us that 15 is a pretty, large number. So I know that my list of numbers I'm dividing by can go all the way to 15. So all that means is once we start dividing by the 7, which doesn't work, the 9, 11, which doesn't work, we know none of the even numbers work because 2 doesn't divide into 75. But we want to just try 13, which did not work. And once we get back down to 15, we know that we're repeating, so we don't use that. We already have 5 and 15 up here. That's when we begin to repeat, and that's where we can stop looking for factors. So we have 1, 3, 5, 15, 25, and 75. So looking at the factors of 15, the factors of 75, I see that 15 is the largest factor that both numbers have. So 15 is the GCF.